Well, NYSE-listed Nuvation Bio is a biotech company focused on tackling some of the toughest challenges in cancer treatment. Earlier this month, it rang the closing bell here at the stock exchange to celebrate FDA approval of its lung cancer medication. And NYSE content creator Ashley Masternardi spoke with Nuvation Bio's founder, president, and CEO about the company's milestone. Let's take a listen.
The medication is called Ibtrozi, and it's for a particularly aggressive kind of lung cancer called ROS1 lung cancer. And this is a disease that affects younger patients, about 20 years younger than the average lung cancer patients. It tends to occur in non-smokers, and it's very aggressive. So when you do get this cancer, you tend to present more than a third of the time in the brain with a brain metastasis, and 50% of the time when you progress, the brain is the first site of disease progression. So these patients have an extremely difficult clinical course. And just a few years ago, the standard of care used to be chemotherapy and immuno-oncology agents, and the average progression-free survival with those agents was about 6 to 12 months. And today, with Ibtrozi, we've shown in a recent study that our median progression-free survival is 4 years. So a pretty big advancement, and we're really excited about being able to give patients this new option.
Is Nuvation Bio focusing right now on treating rare diseases?
So we're focused on the greatest unmet needs in oncology, of which ROS1 lung cancer is one of them. We're also working in brain tumors, which are relatively rare but extremely important unmet need, because diseases like glioblastoma have such short survivals, and patients there have really no significantly effective treatment options. So we're focused on the biggest unmet needs in oncology.
And I understand that you have a background as an oncologist, and additionally in other biotechs, you've brought a very popular prostate cancer medication to market. Can you share more about your journey as a doctor and in the biotech space?
So I am a medical oncologist and a basic scientist by training, and I left academic medicine when a patient of mine died at the age of 28 from a really aggressive form of breast cancer called triple-negative breast cancer. I decided literally that day that I just didn't want to spend the rest of my career giving what were then standard of care agents like chemotherapy, and I wanted to develop newer, better agents that were more effective. So I decided to leave academia, and this is now my third startup. In my second startup, Nuvation, I was able to develop a drug called Xtandi, which today is the world's largest prostate cancer drug. I was also able to develop another drug, PARP inhibitor called Talzenna. And now at Nuvation Bio, Ibtrozi is my third FDA approval now in lung cancer that's driven by a gene called ROS1. And we're really excited about these data because they represent such a significant advance over what were previously available agents.
Can you share more about the other medications that Nuvation Bio is working on right now?
So we are working on another oral pill for this rare brain tumor called glioma. There's only one other agent currently approved only in low-grade glioma. There's nothing for high-grade glioma. High-grade gliomas are extremely devastating because they're very aggressive. Patients often only live a few months. And right now we have an agent that we've shown some pretty promising results in. We have one patient with glioblastoma who on our drug has had his tumor gone for now 3.5 years, which is really unusual. We've had another patient with a high-grade glioma whose tumor has been gone for almost 2 years. Just results you don't see very often. In fact, to our knowledge, ever. So we're very excited about that drug. We're now starting more advanced studies to try to bring this drug to patients as quickly as possible.
And how long and how many resources does it take to bring a medication to market?
Well, that's the hard part. So as important as this area is, it still takes an average of 10 to 17 years and an average of $2.7 billion to bring a drug to market. So if you look at the recent Tough study on that subject, the cost and timeline for developing these drugs is just extraordinarily long and really high cost. So that adds a lot of risk to our business because obviously capital is required to fund all of this. But our philosophy has been that patients incur risk all the time from their diseases, and if we can assume some of that risk and lower the risk to the patient, that's a trade-off we make every day. So, we're really focused on trying to do what we can to develop agents in areas of great unmet need for patients who desperately need them.
What's next for Nuvation Bio?
The sky's the limit. We're really looking at all different kinds of cancers. And in fact, we at some point may even branch into areas outside of oncology. There's so many important diseases in medicine that still have no great therapeutic options. Dementia is an example. And they're just, we would like to make as large an impact on the practice of medicine as we can and try to give patients longer, higher quality lives.